Okay, I'm gonna talk about how your outer world is just a reflection of what's going on inside your mind. What I mean by that is if we think about it in a body sense, right? You look at your gut, you look at your breakouts, you look at how your posture is a bit slouchy. Those aren't like just random things that are just happening to you, right? Things don't just happen to you. Life isn't just happening to you. Something is triggering that. What I'm saying is those are just symptoms. Those are just printouts of something else going on upstairs. And this is where it ties back into a mindset because most of us and most of you you've done like the diets, you've done the exercise programs, you've done the meditation, you've done a bunch of this stuff to try and fix these symptoms that you're having, but they haven't worked for you or they haven't lasted, or you go back to your old habits, you go back to your old diets, your old exercises, and you end up back at square one. And that's such a defeating place to be in. That's such a that's such a it's such a place. It's also such a place that, we're all so familiar with. It could be a thing to where you're just coming back down to baseline. Now, raising your baseline, that's another story for another day. But I really want to talk about how what's going on upstairs can affect what's going on outside in your physical world. You have to kind of pay attention to the signals you're getting. We talk about posture. If we're talking about posture or we're talking about energy, you have to look at where's your energy being diverted. Is it being diverted to, scrolling, which is causing me to sit more, which is causing me to be less active? Is it which is causing more weight gain, right? So symptom. Symptom is the weight gain from all of this flow chart of things that are happening, but it's stemming from the top of your head. Imagine there was a person. This person had a goal that they wanted to achieve. But every time they tried to achieve this goal, they were reminded that uh, they aren't worthy, or they're reminded that they can't achieve it, or that they can't do something, or they can't overcome whatever hurdle they need to. That's a case of not understanding the fight that you're up against. A lot of people think that the outer world is just something that, is attacking them, when it's really their own mind that's attacking them. And the lie that we've been told is that if you fix your outer world, right? Let's say your body. If you fix your gut, if you get in shape, if you get lean, then your inner world will change. You will have more confidence. You will have more love in your life, more more energy. All of that starts from an idea. You don't just get down on the floor and start hitting push-ups out of nowhere. No, you have to have that thought of pain, of being where you are right now, and hating where you are. You literally have to hate your circumstances, right? You, of course, be grateful for, whatever you have, your family, if you have a little bit of money, or whatever. But there comes a time when you have to look inside and you literally have to just look yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, my story has to change. And you remember what I just said, you have to say to yourself, it's the conversation that you're having with yourself that gets you over the line. Let's say you went on some kind of extreme diet, or you went on some extreme cardio run. Let's say you lose the weight. Did your identity change? Did your identity change when you tried to take the shortcuts, when you went the fast route? Did you change any habits? Did you change your relationship with food? Did you change your relationship with your body? No, you just put your body through a bunch of trauma, and you went the extreme route. And one thing about the body is it's the point of your body is a survival mechanism. It's going to return you back to your comfortability, your survival. So now that you've gained the weight back because your identity didn't change, you didn't make the proper adjustments, what happens then? If discipline alone isn't the end all be all, like what's the missing piece? What's the missing piece? And I think back to my story, to when I used to, like, if I there's a story of when I went on a vacation, right? A week-long vacation. And when I came back, I felt so bloated. I felt so ugly, and I was so mad at myself for eating so much and drinking so much and just binging and being a glutton. And that triggered something in me to go and do something extreme. I fasted for like a week straight. I fasted for a week straight, but in that week, I was just restricting myself. It was a restrictive diet, and I didn't make any changes. And so when I started to eat normal again, I yo-yoed back up to the weight, and I felt terrible again. I think my gut was even more destroyed. I was like, maybe this is a gut problem. I was trying to fix my gut. My gut was even more destroyed. It's like it was taking a physical toll on my body, but even more than that, it was mental, because here I am thinking I'm solving the problem, and my hopes are high, and then to I yo-yo back to where I was. Remember, back to fucking square one, and that shit is such a defeating feeling, right? So it shit is hard. I'll be honest, this shit is hard, bro. It's a fucking mind game, and people in the fitness industry, people in the health industry, they disregard that piece. They just give you an program, and they tell you to figure it out. They say just follow the exercise program. They don't work on the inner game, the inner game of life. You know how there's an inner game of golf? There's an inner game of life. And every time you fuck up on the inner game, it just shows in your physical presence. It just shows exactly where you don't want it to show. It shows in your self-image, right? It shows that it's a physical manifestation that you aren't in control. And not only is it a reminder to yourself, but other people see it too. Other people see the stress that you try to hide. Other people see that the darkness around your eyes from poor sleep, from poor habits. Everybody sees all that, right? Everybody sees the binge eating, the not following through on your dreams and your goals. Everybody sees this shit. And we lie to ourselves, and we let other people lie to us and say, like, we can hide it. Bro, people are smarter than you think. People are more perceptive than you think. Energy is real. The energy you give off, bro, people pick that shit up, right? Whether they say it to you or they don't. The energy you're giving off, you know you're giving it off, and you're trying to hide it. And I was there. And this is not me being mad or accusational at you, because I was there. I was doing the same thing, sucking in this is the biggest. This is how you know somebody is super unhappy with their body, super unhappy with their weight, and they're giving that energy off. Do you know that when you suck in your stomach to try and look slimmer, that you're giving off that energy? Do you know that? Do you know that? Do you know that all of your energy now is in your stomach? All of your blood flowing is in your stomach, near your gut, and that gives off a weird energy. It gives off a weird energy. That's where your ego lies, in your gut. If you didn't know that, if you're into spirituality, if you're into, esoteric shit like that, your ego lies in your gut. So you're giving off a big ego, but everybody can smell that it's bullshit. Everybody can smell that it's just camouflage, right? This is like, it's just such a crazy concept that people look past it because it's so hard to come to terms with it that people actually look past it. And people just think, oh, they think they just need another fitness video, they just need another workout tip, they need another diet, bro. But that's the trap. That's the trap. That's the I say this all the time, but that's the lady in the red dress in the Matrix. That's the fucking distraction. We're gonna distract you with more complicated diets. Oh, your body's different. You need hit workouts. You need something, you need super extreme. Man, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit. You need to fix what's up top first. You need to become another person. There's a cycle of negativity that's going on in your brain. You don't need to break the cycle. You just need to replace the negative parts with positive things. But this has to change first before your body could ever change. You can't, because if it doesn't, you'll be left again at square one. If it doesn't change, you'll just yo-yo back to wherever you are. If it doesn't change, you'll be stuck in a yo-yo pattern, right? Because you'll have times where you're high energy and you're like, okay, let me do something extreme, and then you'll have times where you're low energy, where let me do nothing at all. You never actually get a stable baseline. You never actually become in a neutral zone to where you have more control. You're not supposed to be high energy all the time. You're not supposed to be low energy all the time. You're supposed to have a neutral dial tone, if you want to call it that. Right. So the real question isn't, what's my next diet? The real question is, what's my next exercise routine? The real question isn't, who's my next coach? Who am I going to hire to whip me into shape? It's it's are you ready for your mind and your body to really start aligning? And that's the conversation you have to have with yourself. It's the same conversation I have with myself before I got in shape, before I started on my personal mindset and personal development journey. It's the same conversation. Everybody has the same conversation. And that's how you can tell that the universe is connected, bro. That's how you can tell that all of this shit is really just energy, because the energy you have yesterday, if you don't check it at the door in the morning, it's going to roll into today. The energy that you have today, if you don't check it tomorrow in the morning, it's going to roll into tomorrow. If you're not constantly checking yourself, you literally repeat a loop. There's a loop of your life that's just repeating. And that's the fucked up part. That's the fucked up part. So you don't get a new body and then become a new man, right? You don't you become a new man when your mind has decided it's time, when you've done the internal work. And that's when your physical manifestation of your body, of your life, will start to match your internal state in your mind. Because if you have a storm going on in your mind, there's a storm going on outside. You think everything is built to attack you. You think everything is an attack against you. In all reality, most things are an attack against you. Let's just make that clear. But it's how you take it. It's how you react. And if your inner state is all fucked up, you're going to react in a fucked up way. And you're going to believe that you are a victim. It ultimately comes down to you having a victim mentality and you being out of control. Okay? Now, I want to tell you three things. Three things that'll actually going to help you change your identity. The first one is First one is this. The first one is you building a case file of evidence against yourself. A case file of evidence that you do what you say, because this is how you start to reframe your identity, reframe your mind. Once you have a case file of evidence that you trust yourself, that you are not letting, weird thoughts go through your mind unchecked, that you are, maybe writing things down in a journal so that you can actually see and you've actually done it. Once you build evidence over over your intention to do good, the receipts can't be faked, basically. So there's no denying that. There's nothing that can stand up against the evidence that you build, that you're becoming the person that you want to become. It's really how you avoid those motivation spikes, right? Because those high spikes of motivation are going to have really low valleys of, like, let's just call it depression for lack of better words. The second thing you want to do is you want to control your environment. You want to make a conscious decision to control your environment. What do I mean by that? Getting up, making your bed, right? Tidying up your workspace, tidying up um tidying up yourself, making sure you're clean, and you feel clean. You're wearing clothes that that align with the person that you see yourself being in your mind. You're Because that this is this is where it comes down to, is you, wherever you are, you take yourself. I hate this saying, but it's kind of true. It's like, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so if you're always in a position where things are hectic behind you, your house is dirty, your shit's all cluttered, you're not kept, you're not, you don't get haircuts, brother. That means your mind is just, there's a storm going on in your mind, and this is how you see yourself. It's not that, oh, you can't afford to go get a haircut. It's not that, oh, you don't have time to make your bed or put on clean clothes. It's like you just don't identify with that person. You don't identify with a person who does that. But the person who does that is the person who is is successful, the person who is living the best version of their life, because they don't have all this other shit that they're subconsciously worrying about, because they don't have clothes on their bed that they need to fold, right? They have time, because the time, the actual free time, the actual little moments that they have, they folded the clothes and put them away, and it's not something that they have to think about anymore. You have to think about how much energy you're expending when you have all of this other shit that you're avoiding, that you haven't done. You gotta clean up your environment, clean up your mind, clean up your environment, and that's gonna take you a whole lot further, right? The last thing you want to make sure you know and understand is that your nervous system is like a lagging indicator. It's going to catch up last. You're not going to get the result immediately. You start feeling like yourself more and more every day you keep making these changes. Every day you keep having these daily disciplines, these positive habits that you're doing and you're creating for yourself, because you're building this new person. You don't understand. You have to get rid of all the old stuff that, your old self was doing to yourself, and you build this new person day by day. It's not an easy task. So there's going to be a bit of a lag in terms of you getting the result, but you can only get it through consistency of doing the right thing every single time. Yeah, you'll have fucking days where you're like, you kind of fall off a bit, but you have to you'll have days you fall off. I'll be honest. You'll have days you forget to do, the tasks that create this new person you're trying to create, this new identity, but You have to get back on track as soon as possible. You have to recognize where you're falling short and be like, okay, I can't go 2 days in a row doing shit like this. This shit is not gonna serve you. It's just not gonna serve me. You have to understand that momentum is hard to build and it's so easy to lose. And momentum is is what keeps you going. Those three things are gonna be the ones that can fix or start making a turn in your identity, start making that shift. But they're so important for you to include into your life. You have to start rejecting the guy in the mirror that you see today, the guy in the mirror that's wasting all your time, that's keeping you in the struggle. You have to reject that man that's keeping you in this current situation that you hate, in this current situation that you that is not serving you and you know it. And that's why that subconscious feeling is there. That's why you're here watching this video today, because you understand that there's a level that you want to get to, but it feels like something's pulling you back. It feels like something's pulling you back. It feels like the world is pulling you back. And we are, in all reality, you're a whole lot stronger than this world. You are the spitting image of God. God is within you. You are above this world. Under God, you are above this world. Always. And you have to believe that first before anything changes. It's not, you don't change the physical and then change your mind. No. It starts with your thoughts. It starts with a thought. Your body isn't lying to you. Your body isn't fighting you. It's not at war with you. Your body is just, it's displaying the truth of what's going on inside. So you either listen to your body, or you ignore it and you keep damaging it. You either listen to your body and you fix what's going on up top, or you keep living in this loop. Nothing's wrong with you. Nothing's wrong with you. I want to get that clear. I want to get that clear and I want to get that across. Nothing is wrong with you. Nothing is wrong with your body. It's just a printout of what's going on. Stop trying to fix the man you see in the mirror and go fix the man. You fix the man by fixing the mind. It's not easy to do, but you can do it.